back to Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily here to tell you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd stuff. So today we're talking about Infinity Train. It's a new cartoon on Cartoon Network in which all 10 seasons of the first season have already premiered. Surprisingly, Cartoon Network didn't decide to release this in a bomb format where we got like 2 or 3 episodes over the course of the rest of the year. How terrible would that have been? So, if you haven't already seen Infinity Train, it's a great cartoon. Go watch it. Definitely go watch it. You can watch it on demand. If you have cable, you can watch it through the Cartoon Network app. I still think if you have cable. And, of course, there are other venues that you could use to watch it, but we're not going to talk about those venues here. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it because I'm going to spoil a lot of things, talk about a lot of potential spoilers as far, well, not even just potential, it's going to be straight up. Now, a little history before we get into all of that. Infinity Train first appeared on YouTube as a Cartoon Network short, because they were like trying to figure out which cartoon to greenlight. They released like 4 or 5 pilot episodes of different cartoons, and Infinity Train actually didn't get picked for whatever reason. It was the best one. It got the most votes, but whatever. They didn't want to do the whole thing. So fast forward to 2017, 2018. They finally announced that yes, they are going to actually pick up Infinity Train, do a whole series. And then they did it, finally. It took them a whole year, but they managed to get it out, and we're grateful for it. And it's actually not the last season. The reason I mention that is because when you're watching it, you might feel like it is, but no. At the end of the last episode of the first season, 1-1 comes out. 1-1's one of the characters comes out and says there will be another season. And we'll talk a little bit about theories or whatever towards the end of the video, but let's talk a little bit about Infinity Train. This is where the spoiler territory comes up. So if you haven't seen it, check out the video now, come back later, and I'll still be talking about it. So here we go. I just want to say real fast, this was an emotionally draining show, and that is really good. How interesting a show to set up the topic of divorce in households through the use of a sci-fi medium. How neat is that, right? And not just divorce, but just dealing with loss in general, getting over something, moving past something, and using this neat sci-fi element. Now, if you still haven't watched it and you don't know what I'm talking about, Infinity Train is thus. We focus on Tulip. Tulip's a teen girl. Her parents just went through a divorce, and they have shit the bed on getting her to a computer programming class or camp. And so she decides she's going to walk there herself because she's a strong, independent teenager who don't need no parents, whatever. So on her way there, she gets picked up by the Infinity Train. Now, it's not actually necessarily called the Infinity Train, it's just called the train. And the interesting concept is it has an incalculable amount of cars, and every car has something different in it. An example, like the special, or the short, there is a car full of corgis, sentient corgis, just talking corgis, and my favorite character, Atticus, comes from this car. He's the king of the corgis, uniters of the Pembrokes and the Cardigans. He's a great character. In fact, if you actually watch the pilot, the episode 3, the corgi car, plays out exactly like the pilot with just a little bit added in for, I don't know, to make it just a little different. So Tulip goes through all these cars, and along the way she meets 1-1, which is basically a two-sided robot, 2 personalities. These 2 personalities can come apart and be their own little robot. She meets Atticus the corgi. She meets the cat. That's its name. The name is the cat. The cat is kind of a hoarder character, but will also make deals with people in order to get stuff, more or less. And Tulip is trying to get off the train, but when she tries to just, like, step off the train, she gets attacked by, like, these cockroach dog things that try to suck out her soul. It's gross, and I don't like it, especially because in episode 9, shit happens. Shit hits the fan in the worst kind of way. But as Tulip goes through the car, she's trying to get this mysterious number on her hand to change, and she doesn't know what the change initially means. Initially, she finds out from One that, oh, if your number hits 0, you die. And then the cat's like, no, that's not true. The cat doesn't stick around very long. It only appears in a couple episodes. It's not only an antagonist, but a comrade. It's a whole thing. Like, whatever is good for the cat is what the cat's gonna do. So, as Tulip goes through cards, she realizes that her number is steadily going down, but she doesn't know why. Sometimes she'll go through a car, no change. Sometimes she'll go through a car, big change, small change. She doesn't get it. But the thing is, what she's doing is she's like facing like her inner demons one by one, and that's slowly counting down her number. Whatever, like if it's a big demon that she's facing, big shrink. If it's a small demon, small shrink, sort of thing, like that. Because when your number hits 0, you get off the train. Like, that's the purpose of the Infinity Train, is to help you work through problems that you might be having, that you're having trouble getting past or letting go of. And we find out that not everybody is working so well at that, because there are other passengers on the train. Now, Tulip only runs into one actual other passenger. Like, there's a ton of cars. Every car is a little different. Some cars have people in them, but they're not really people. But the whole point is that there are other human passengers on the Infinity Train, and Tulip runs into one of them, called the conductor, who actually isn't the conductor, but a woman named Amelia, who is trying to recreate a car where her husband is still alive. Like, it's a whole thing. It's very sad. And she basically takes over the Infinity Train trying to do that. So, in the end, we find out a lot of things. We find out a ton of things. One, that One who is looking for his mother, his actual mother is the engine of the train. That One is the actual conductor. Now, I did say there's going to be spoilers. You can't get mad at me. We also find out about Amelia, what she's attempting to do, and that she has numbers, like crazy numbers, right? Because the entire show, we've only seen Tulip's number really go down. We've seen it click up a couple times, but generally it stays down. So, but we do find out that numbers can really, really go, because not only does Amelia have numbers on her hand and her arm, they go all the way up to her neck. Who knows when those numbers stop, to be honest. So Amelia's got a lot of stuff to work out, but Tulip works out her stuff, gets her exit door, saves Atticus. Thank goodness, because he got turned into one of the cockroach monster things, and it was very heartbreaking, and I cried. I cried a whole lot, because it was episode 9, and I didn't know how they were going to fix it, but they fixed it, so it doesn't matter. Because Atticus is fine. And we find out that Tulip's kind of okay now with her parents' divorce, because she learns a lot about herself through the car, because she finds out that maybe things weren't as perfect as she thought they were. She wasn't being fair to her parents, and bam, she gets her exit door, and she makes, life work in a divorced house. Like, yeah, she loves her mom, she sees her dad, but she's good now. A neat thing to tie into the whole what if it was all a dream thing is that Tulip, after she gets off the Infinity Train, and we see 6 months later, that she doesn't have a reflection. And the reason for this is because in one of the cars, she actually frees her reflection from Reflection World, showing that, yes, the Infinity Train does exist. So, it was a really good show, really great episodes. But let's talk about some theories for Season 2. Now, we are totally getting a Season 2. We know that already. And I want to say right now that we are not going to see Tulip, Atticus, or maybe even 1-1. We might see 1-1 at the end, because 1-1's reunited with the train. Hopefully Amelia doesn't do a bunch of crazy shit all over again. But we'll find out, you know? Because who knows? Maybe we'll see 1-1 again and Amelia will be doing stuff, because maybe that's Amelia's job on the train. Maybe she actually truly invented the invasion. Speaking of trains. That's a theory. I don't think anybody's throwing out that theory. I just thought of it, so who knows? Maybe somebody is. Here's the point. They said that they get a lot of inspiration from Doctor Who for this show, and that show, if you've never watched it, I did do, for a while I was doing episode reviews until depression just like fucking kicked my ass. But Doctor Who is a show that constantly changes the main character and the main character's companions. So that's why I don't think, personally, that we'll see Atticus or 1-1 again. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I think Atticus is a great character, and I love him, and I would love to see more of him, but I don't think it will be. I don't think we'll probably see the cat again, though, because the cat is opportunistic. So that's why I think we'll see the cat again. And that's kind of it for this video. Do you think that they'll focus on one of the other passengers that we saw? Do you think somebody new will get on the train and we'll follow their story and what they're going through? Maybe they'll help out other passengers without even knowing it. Because we did see that Amelia's number did click down a little bit after Tulip makes her grandiose statement about, you know, change and accepting change, and etc. blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So, that's it. What are we going to talk about next time? She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Season 3? Yep. That's what we're going to talk about next time. See you then. Until then, love cartoons, love comics, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!